Alright guys, MTGO Drafter here, bringing you my first recorded Aether Revolt and Kaladesh draft. It's taken me a while to decide between Aether and Aether, but it seems like the consensus is Aether Revolt. Pretty nice first pack here, a lot of good cards. Plunder is one of the better uncommons on the set, especially to build around early. Spire Patrol I think is one of my favorite gold, even if it's not the most powerful. I really like playing with it. Poison are one of the better commons. Same with Druid. Good commons here as well as Ice Over. It's easy to kind of think, don't draft too many of these Ice Overs because, you know, with Bounce and Blink and all that other stuff coming up this set, it's not that great, but it's been really effective for me lately. That all being said, the obvious pick here is Solemn Recruit. This is probably the only card in the entire set that I've only played live and not online, because I played a bunch of online drafts and only 2 live, and I played this one live, but I've never seen it online. So easy first pick here. And I'm definitely going to prioritize anything that's going to trigger a Revolt for the rest of the draft. Maybe more. A few options here. Barricade Breaker is just solid. Normally I don't like cards that attack each turn with combat, but with this Improvise and getting it out kind of cheap, it can really do a lot of damage. It's also nice to draft early because you can start building around it. That being said, I'm leaning towards either one of these mono white cards, Caught in the Bride's or Dawn Feather Eagle are both very good, or Renegade Wheelsmith. I just really like this card, and I could definitely see myself going into red-white vehicles. I think it's one of the more powerful archetypes in the set. So I'm torn between these two, really, but I want to leave myself kind of flexible. Don't want to lock myself into a second color just yet, and I think that the power level is close enough where I can try to stay in white and go with Caught on the Brights. Nothing great in color. Decommission's fine, but I'm not going to take one this early. Baral's Expertise, I'm kind of surprised it's here this late. I think this is a really good card. One of the better, maybe, not. I'm not going to say the best now with the black one out there and even the white, but I think it's just a really good card. So that's definitely tempting. I'm also tempted by this Malphus Revolution. It pairs really nicely with the Solemn Recruit. I could make that recruit very dangerous very quickly if things started going there. Trophy Mage, another good card. Lots of good 3-mana artifacts in the set. Though for the longest time I thought it was with converted mana cost 3 or less, which would have made it a lot nicer. And obviously Aether Chaser is solid as well. I think I'm going to go with the Malphus Revolution. I would love to get kind of a green-white counters theme going on. It could definitely work really well with that Solemn Recruit. Though I don't think I'm locking myself in green with this pick. Could still go a lot of directions here. Nothing outstanding, but I think Restoration Specialist is very underrated, especially with Caught in the Brights in our hand or in our deck. It can just do a lot of work. So I'm going to kind of prioritize some cheap disposable artifacts and enchantments that I could bring back with the Specialist and could also help trigger a Revolt for the Solemn Recruit. I really like Consulate Crackdown. It doesn't kind of go great with our kind of aggressive type card that we seem to be starting, but it's kind of too early to lock us into that. Some good red cards that might be a signal here. It almost definitely is. Chaser, Revolution, and Brawler all out there. That suggests that red is very open. So I think the choices between the Crackdown and the Chaser or the Revolution starting to pivot red. At the same time, it's one of those situations where I'm not too tempted to pivot to red because at least 2 good red cards are still going to come back to the next person after me, which means it might not stay open for the next 2 packs. That being said, I think Revolution is just too good of removal to pass up here. And we have some removal, but not a lot, so I'm going to take that there. Wow, it's a late breaker. It's a pretty late Eagle, and a Crusher is a good card too. I would like some artifacts and some vehicles because they can go very nicely with the Restoration Specialist, but at the same time I think Dawn Feather Eagle is just too powerful of a card to pass up. So I'm going to keep trying to go heavy white and cut that, and then look to potentially pick up some green or red, see which one looks more open towards the end of this pack or next. Conviction I don't love. I think it's a little overrated. But it's just too good, I think, with Solemn Recruit in our hand, or I keep saying in our hand, in our deck to kind of pass up here. I'm tempted to do a Cogwork similar that also pairs nicely with Revolt, though obviously a lot more expensive. I think I'm going to just have to take the Conviction. Even if I don't get too many leave the battlefield effects, you know, it's not the worst aura in the world, especially with a double strike and a trample creature already picked up. It also goes another card that goes nicely with a Restoration Specialist. I really like Audacious Infiltrator. I think it gets way too late in packs, and it's just one of the better 2-drops in the set because it can't be, you know, can't trade with any of those servos or thopters, and if you get it out early, it can do a lot of work. Yeah, I'll definitely take a second one. Might not play it, but it's definitely willing to consider it. Nothing here that really is that interesting. I might just rare draft because I don't see myself playing anything else. But I guess I'll pick up the turret in case... No, I'll pick up the Wrangle in case I get some nice sack effects. Though there aren't a ton, except for artifacts. But I'll pick it up just in case we go red and have the cards that work with it. Sure, I'll take the Implement. Could definitely see myself playing that if we go red. Because it pairs nicely with the Revolt. Though I'd probably want more synergies before that gets main decked. Yeah, in case we want another high-end creature. I've really been enjoying Aether. Sorry it's taking me so long to get one out. Appreciate the views on the last couple videos. But finally getting an Aether draft out will be fun. I'm on a decent winning streak. Ooh, speaking of cards I have never seen in this set, my first Walking Ballista. Very excited. I played against this a crazy number of times. Feels like everybody I play online has this, but I never have. So really excited to pick this up. Let's see. What's the best way to build around it? Probably not a lot. Ramps would be nice, especially if we go in green. But other than that, I think not much. There are some nice green, you know, where it rewards you for putting counters on, which wouldn't be too bad, especially in Kaladesh. But it's just obviously a great card on its own. Happy to finally play it. I think Lindsleeve Siphoner is really good. Obviously don't have anything black yet. I think the picks between that and the Brawler. Brawler's pretty boring, but nothing else is seemingly in colors. I might go Siphoner, actually. Yeah, it's, you know, it's not amazing, but it does a lot of work. And there's nothing else here that really works. We might not go black. We could still go black, red, green, or a combination of those. But we'll just leave ourselves open for now. I mean, heck, mono white is a possibility, which I've never seen or done in this set, but that could be interesting and fun. Definitely help with mana for some cards like the Solemn Recruit and getting that Conviction going early, but we'll see. Still early. So I think it's between Aeronaut, Admiral, and Caught in the Brights here. Not seeing anything else. I'm going to go Caught in the Brights. Could use more removal, especially if we end up not in red. And I really like Aeronaut Admiral, probably more than most, but we have no creatures in our deck. And I've also seen this wheel surprisingly late, so let's take the Caught in the Bright and hope that comes back around. Still not seeing anything that's going to kind of dictate color, I don't think, at least second color. So I'm leaning towards the Crusher. I think people kind of undervalue this card because it looks so kind of vanilla on its surface. But I found anything Crew 3 or lower has been a very good vehicle for me. And this notwithstanding. Or no exceptions here. It's just been a really good card. Getting that 6/6 out on the board can do a lot of damage early. And also artifacts, Ballista especially, but also the Crusher. How nice would it be to bring back that Ballista with a Restoration Specialist. I really want to play with the Greenbelt Rampager. It's just a fun card, and we could definitely do it and go green. But we don't have any kind of energy synergies, except for the Siphoner. So I'm leaning towards the Deadeye Harpooner, just kind of leaving ourselves flexible with color still. Really going heavy white. I think it's just a good card, and we definitely are hoping to get some more Revolt triggers moving forward with that Solemn Recruit in hand. Yeah, let's take it. Let's put our off-color cards to the side here. I'd say 3 cards that are pretty similar power level. So, you know, honestly, any color is still open to us as a second. Here might help us make our pick. I think it's between Cruel Finality. Oh, I'm already talking myself out of this. Cruel Finality, Livecraft Cavalry are both decent cards in one of our colors here. Mobile Garrison is fine, but nothing amazing. Though I do think it is underrated, though. But I'm leaning towards Alley Evasion. It's probably too early to pick this card up. But if we can keep cutting white and at the same time trigger Revolt, I think it could do a lot of work. This is going to help us with the Deadeye Harpoon, and it's obviously going to help us with the Solemn Recruit as well. So I think I'm going to pick that up here, though. Might not be the right pick. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. Yeah, white just seems so open. It's between the Specialist and the Decommission. I love it. No, I don't know why I said love. I don't think this is that good, but it is fun to play with. I'm not sure if I ever have in this set. But not as good as the Restoration Specialist. Would love a Decommission. Not sure if there are any more coming. I can't remember. Later on, I mean. But this is just too good of a card. Dominable Creativity. I want to work, but it's not that good. Yeah, this also seems wrong, but I guess I'll pick up the error modification even without much going on here. Probably won't play it, but who knows? Stick it on the Solemn Recruit and the game could end pretty quickly. And we do have 1 vehicle, but not many. Wow, Felidar Guardian is great in our deck. It's also just surprisingly late in general. This is just a great card. And it keeps the hopes of a Saheeli Ray combo dream alive. But obviously just a great card in our set, or in our deck. It works really well with the Dawn Feather Eagle, with the Solemn Recruit, with the Deadeye Harpooner. Getting 2 pings with the Harpooner with that would just be really nice. Just a good card. Aether Inspector, not great, but definitely a possibility, especially if we end up going mono white. Sure, Automaton I think is one of the better mana sinks. Could definitely play it if green's the second color. And like I said before, I like Ice Over, but I'm gonna pick up the Automaton in white. It helps us with that Revolt, and gets a body out there in case we're trying to build something up with the Recruit or the anything else. Lightcrafter's Gift, really surprisingly late. You know, it's not the best combat trick in the world by any means because of how expensive it is. But in the right deck, that does a ton of work, and we might have it. And the Slunk Tusk Cub might have just put us into that deck. It's got the token theme. It gives us just an amazing card. Only other options would be Die Young, meh. Fragmentize, too early for that. Sky Skiff is pretty good in our deck, but nothing incredible. And the Harrier's fine, but boring. So we're going to go Cub. And we're just going to try to start going as heavy green-white counters as we can. Let's see, didn't mean to put those there. Keep them in. Revoke or the Servant are options here. I'm going to take the Servant. Energy is all of a sudden a theme in our deck. And it's just a good card. Helps with some mana fixing and ramp for that Ballista. Though we don't have much in the high end yet. We could add some more to it. I do love Revoke, but I'm going to take the Servant. Wisweaver Angel, another great card in any Revolt deck. And it fills in that high end, so this is really kind of shaping up pretty nicely. I would love the Seed Sculptor to wheel. Helps a ton with the Cub and just that Malphus Revolution and some of the other good creatures you have. Here, I think it's an interesting pick. Ibex helps with the Cub, get some energy out there. Could use a Naturalize effect, but hopefully this wheels. I'm leaning towards the Captured by the Console. We don't have a ton of removal. And this is it's not full removal, but I think this is a pretty decent card. Stops the opponent's pump spells as well. Here, Ibex seems right in our deck, but I think Filigree Familiar is just too good. Just does a lot for 3 mana, and I'm kind of surprised to see it this late. I think it's one of the better uncommons in the set. Yeah, I really like our deck. I hope it does well. It probably depends a lot on if we get the Cub out early or the Solemn Recruit out early. Though, I mean, we do just have a lot of power in this deck, so be good. We'll see. It's a little awkward in that parts of it want to be super aggressive with the Cub and the Solemn Recruit, but at the same time, things like the Deadeye Harpooner kind of puts us in more of a defensive control type situation. But, I mean, I don't think control should be scary for us, especially now with Conviction and other ways to kind of repeatedly trigger Revolt. Yeah, I don't see us playing anything here. Normally, I don't hate draft in a league, but I don't want anyone playing underhanded designs against us, really. Could be good. Nah, I guess I don't know, we don't have a ton of instants or sorceries. I'm going to take the Accomplished Automaton. It's the only one that could theoretically fit in our deck if we're just desperate for some big creature for some reason. Suro Exhibition is nothing special in our deck. Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot's decent. Triggers Revolt. Gets us energy for the Rhino. For the Cub, I mean. Yeah, I'll take that for now. I don't know if it's good enough to main deck, but we'll see. We're only at 23 playables right now. Yeah, nothing here. I'm going to sideboard the Herald of the Fair. It's not a bad 3-drop, but nothing special. Let's take the Harrier. Don't mind a 3/4 flyer. Even though it's kind of like the Dawn Feather Eagle, but just worse. Malfunction, I think is the best card here. Though Aether Meltdown. Aether Meltdown's pretty good too. If you don't see anything, this could definitely be our this could definitely be our deck. I think we could go 16 mana with this curve. Not to mention the Servant in hand. Anything in the sideboard that I should be considering? Aerial Modification I like. I could theoretically put that in. Nothing else in white. Blue, black, not going into. Same with red. Sage does really well with the Cub, so I'm going to consider that. And I think I'll go ahead and put the modification in now. Just to have all our options available to us when we get to deck building. So, I mean, obviously we've got a ton of 2-drops. I don't think that's terrible. I could see myself cutting an Infiltrator. I'm kind of leaning towards the Sage right now. I don't know if it's enough to pick that over the Infiltrator, but with the Servant and the Long Tusk Cub, it'd be nice to get that out early. And we could use more energy generators. I don't know if the Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot is good enough to put in here. I don't think I've ever actually played this card, but anybody who does against me seems to use it really well, and it works in their deck. It does seem like a lot of cards to put in just because of the Cub. The 2 cards, at least. But I guess it works with the Servant as well. So I might keep them. I think I'm going to take out this Aerial Modification. It would be so nice on either the Cub or the Solemn Recruit. But at the same time, it's just too expensive. I don't think I can justify it. Here, the right play might be take out the Sage. It just doesn't do a ton. Or probably the Puzzle Knot. But I do really like both of them when we're trying to get some Revolt going. So I'm going to take out one of the Infiltrators. And if he's really heavy and like Servos or Thopters, probably we'll side that back in. So here's our 24. And I think I'm just going to call that a day here. Let's get some more green mana going. 9 should be plenty for white, and I don't want to be mana screwed. Especially I'm going to lean a little more on the green since we have the Cub want to get out early, but especially the Servant that can give us some mana ramp and fixing early. So I think I'm going to leave it like this and call it a deck. I will be back with round 1.